Hi everyone. One of your classmates asked for a video on this question, and I'm happy to make it. And I wanted to let you know also that if you ever have a question and you'd like me to record a video for your particular question, just send me an email. Another option that we have is we can meet in Google Hangouts and discuss some of these questions that you might have live. So please feel free to communicate with me about any of the challenges that you might be facing, and I'll be happy to collaborate with you to see about a solution. At any rate, we want to evaluate this function, find the quotient of f and g, and then we want to substitute in the value 5/6. I need to let you know that the pen for my tablet is not working, so I'm going to try to write this as neatly as I can, but bear with me. I am trying to write this using like the touch on the screen. All right, so we want to find first f divided by g. I'm going to write it right here. So we're going to find f divided by g. And f divided by g is simply the function f in our numerator, which is x squared minus 7, divided by g, which is negative 6x plus 5. We don't have to worry about simplifying or anything because we are going to actually take this quotient and substitute in the value 5/6 in place of each one of the x's that we see. So we're taking this 5/6 and we want to write it, substitute it in for this x and for this x. Okay? So let's see what that looks like. So this means that we now have, instead of x, we have 5/6. We keep our squared and we keep our minus 7. Divided by, in our denominator, we have negative 6. And we're going to again substitute in 5/6 for that x and keep our plus 5. Now we have to do some calculating. 5/6 squared means that we're taking 5/6 and multiplying it by itself. So that's taking 5/6 times 5/6. And when we do that, remember when you multiply fractions, you multiply straight across. 5 times 5 is 25. 6 times 6 is 36. Then we keep our minus 7. And now we're going to divide. We have a negative 6 that we are multiplying by 5/6. Remember, we are multiplying fractions. This negative 6 has an invisible denominator of 1. So when we multiply straight across, we have negative 6 times 5, which is negative 30, divided by 6. And what you'll find is negative 30 divided by 6 is just nothing more than negative 5. So in other words, the 6 canceled out with that 6. And we were just left with a negative 5. Again, that was because negative 30 divided by 6 is just negative 5. So we have negative 5. Come on. Come on, marker. Thank you. So we have negative. Why is it not working? Oh, because I'm still on eraser. I so wish my pen was working. I'm getting a new pen, guys. I promise. Okay, so we have negative 5 plus 5. Now, ordinarily, we would need to go ahead and put 25/36 minus 7 in our calculator or simplify it by hand by finding a common denominator and all of that kind of stuff. But we don't have to worry about that in this case. Having said that, I'm going to show you or remind you of how to do it. I don't like working hard. I like working smart. So I'm not going to calculate that by hand. I'm just going to bring up our calculator and show you or remind you of how you can put it in the calculator. So I believe it was positive 25/36 minus 7. So there are two options. You can do your alpha, y equals, and number 1. Again, that was alpha, y equals, number 1 for the fraction, or you can just use parentheses. Okay? So for those of you who might have an older model of the calculator, parentheses will be sufficient. What I'm saying is, if I do parentheses 25 divided by 36 and close out my parentheses, and then do minus 7, we get this answer. I can do math, fraction, and change it to a fraction, negative 227 over 36. Or, for those of you with the newer model of the calculator, you can do alpha, y equals, choose number 1, and that will bring up a fraction for you. And then you can just type your 25, use your down arrow key to type the denominator of 36. Make sure you use your right arrow key to come out of the fraction before you press minus 7. Press enter, and it gives you the same answer without you having to do the changing it to a fraction deal. Okay? All right, so we have negative 227 over 36. Let's go back to the other screen, and I think that's what I was talking about. Okay, so negative 227 divided by 36. That's our numerator. That's what this simplified to. That's what this simplified to, okay? But now let's talk about our denominator. That's the most important thing in this particular problem because a negative 5 plus 5 zeroes out. So that means that we have a fraction that we're dividing by 0. And what happens when we divide by 0? Okay, we can't divide by 0. So dividing by 0 is an undefined operation. And that means that for this particular value of 5, 6, our function is not going to exist because 5, 6 is excluded from the domain of this function. So our answer is B. If you have any other questions, please let me know. I'll be happy to make a video. Thank you.